Did you know that nearly 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's disease? That number is expected to rise to 14 million by 2060. Dementia is more common than many people realize, yet the early signs often go unnoticed. It's easy to dismiss occasional forgetfulness as just aging, but these silent symptoms can signal something much more serious. Most people think dementia only affects memory, but it can show up in surprising ways. From mood changes to navigational issues, understanding these signs is crucial. Early detection can lead to better care options and improved quality of life. In this video, we'll uncover 6 early signs of dementia that you should never ignore. Each sign is unique and often overlooked. We'll share practical strategies for recognizing these symptoms and what to do next. By the end, you'll have the knowledge to spot the early whispers of dementia, ensuring you or your loved ones can seek help when it matters most. Let's dive in and discover what these silent signals might be telling us. Chapter 1: Fading Social Spark. Is isolation more than just a phase? It's normal to enjoy a little alone time, especially as we age. But when someone who was once social suddenly starts to pull away from friends and family, it might be more than just a phase. According to the Alzheimer's Association, social withdrawal is one of the early signs of dementia. Studies show that people with early Alzheimer's tend to avoid group activities they once enjoyed. Why? They may feel overwhelmed by conversations or confused in social situations. It's not always obvious, but the shift can be gradual. Researchers at Johns Hopkins University found that isolation, especially in seniors, can actually speed up cognitive decline. When the brain stops engaging with the world, it loses its ability to function well. This is why staying socially connected is crucial for brain health. A 2019 study even noted that loneliness and social isolation increase the risk of dementia by about 50%. So, if you notice a loved one drifting away from their usual social circle, it's important to take note. This might be their brain signaling a deeper issue, not just a change in preference. Chapter 2: Misplacing more than just keys. When everyday confusion becomes a red flag, we all forget things from time to time. Losing your keys or forgetting where you parked the car happens to the best of us. But when forgetfulness becomes a pattern, it's time to pay attention. Misplacing items in strange places, like finding the TV remote in the fridge or a wallet in the bathroom, isn't just a funny mishap. It could be an early sign of dementia. According to the Mayo Clinic, this kind of confusion happens because dementia affects the brain's ability to organize information. In the early stages, people with dementia might blame others for stealing their misplaced items. This paranoia is more common than people realize. A 2020 report from the World Health Organization, WHO, found that around 40% of people in the early stages of Alzheimer's experience these strange misplacements and mix-ups. They start to rely more on routines, but even then, confusion sneaks in. An important strategy here is creating simple systems at home to keep track of everyday items. Things like labels, designated spots for keys or wallets, or daily reminders can help reduce the frustration of forgetfulness. But most importantly, don't brush off frequent forgetfulness. It could be a sign that something deeper is going on. Chapter 3: Lost in Conversations. When words start to slip away, we've all had those moments where the right word is just out of reach. But when this happens more frequently, it's worth paying closer attention. In the early stages of dementia, language problems are more than occasional senior moments. People might struggle to follow conversations, lose track of what they were saying, or repeat themselves without realizing it. They may also find it hard to remember common words, referring to objects as that thing or the stuff over there. According to Harvard Medical School, these lapses occur because dementia affects the part of the brain responsible for language processing. In fact, an inability to find the right words, or anomia, is often one of the first cognitive symptoms noticed by family members. A 2018 study from the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease revealed that nearly 70% of early-stage Alzheimer's patients experience difficulties with word finding and following conversations. If you notice someone pausing in the middle of a sentence, struggling to keep up with what's being said, or repeating the same phrases, these could be early red flags. One helpful approach is to be patient, allow extra time in conversations, and avoid interrupting. Simple strategies like speaking slowly and clearly, or using visual cues in conversation, can make a huge difference for someone struggling with dementia. Recognizing these subtle language difficulties early can lead to quicker diagnosis and support. If you find this information valuable, please consider subscribing to our channel for more insights on health and wellness. Chapter 4: Subtle Mood Shifts. The quiet emotional roller coaster. We all have good and bad days, But when mood swings become more frequent or extreme, it might be more than just stress. Early stage dementia can bring unexpected emotional changes that are often overlooked. Someone who was once calm might become easily irritated, or a person who was always upbeat could start showing signs of apathy. Dr. Lisa Genova, author of Still Alice, points out that these mood shifts are often subtle at first. She writes, "It's not always the big outbursts you should be looking for. Sometimes it's the quiet withdrawal or unexpected anxiety." A 2021 study published in The Lancet found that changes in mood and personality can occur up to 20 years before cognitive symptoms become more noticeable. This means that subtle mood changes can be an early, silent indicator of dementia. Often, these shifts are mistaken for depression or anxiety, but the underlying cause may be cognitive decline. What can you do if you notice this in a loved one? Start by creating a supportive environment. Help them stick to a daily routine, as consistency can reduce feelings of confusion and frustration. Engaging in stress-reducing activities like light exercise or meditation can also help stabilize emotions. Above all, keep the lines of communication open, acknowledge the changes without being confrontational. Sometimes just being present and understanding can make a world of difference. Chapter 5, Navigational Nightmares. Getting lost in familiar places. One of the earliest and most unsettling signs of dementia is when someone begins to lose their sense of direction. Imagine being in your own neighborhood, a place you've known for years, and suddenly feeling lost or disoriented. This isn't just about poor navigational skills, it's a warning sign that the brain's spatial memory is weakening. According to a report from the Alzheimer's Society, nearly 60% of people with Alzheimer's will experience disorientation at some point. Spatial memory helps us remember where we are, how to navigate, and how to place ourselves in the world. When this part of the brain is compromised, even routine routes, like the path to the grocery store, can become confusing. This is why many families notice that their loved one may have trouble finding their way home or following simple directions. One strategy to help is to create clear visual cues around the home. For example, you can place bright markers near doors or use signs that point the way. Installing GPS tracking devices is another option, giving both the person and their caregivers peace of mind. And while it might seem small, encouraging the person to mentally rehearse their daily routes can help reinforce their spatial memory. Chapter 6, Decision-Making Dilemmas. When simple choices become overwhelming, we make countless decisions every day, from what to wear to what to eat for dinner. But for someone in the early stages of dementia, even small choices can feel overwhelming. You might notice a loved one struggling to decide between simple options, like choosing a shirt or picking out groceries. According to the National Institute on Aging, dementia can impair the brain's executive functions, the part that helps us plan, organize, and make decisions. Research from the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that difficulties with decision-making often appear early in cognitive decline. People might hesitate more often, become indecisive, or make poor choices that don't seem logical. For example, they might dress inappropriately for the weather or make impulsive financial decisions. One way to help is by simplifying choices. Instead of offering multiple options, give just 2 or 3. This can reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed. Another strategy is to establish daily routines that minimize decision-making, like setting out clothes the night before or having set meal plans. By making the environment more predictable, you allow your loved one to feel more in control, which reduces anxiety. Remember, patience is key. It's easy to get frustrated when someone struggles with what seems like a simple decision. But recognizing that this is a cognitive issue, not just forgetfulness, can help you approach the situation with more understanding. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more insights into health and wellness. Together, we can raise awareness about dementia and support those who are affected by it.